Okay.
You can do start recording at your end. I'm giving allow record permission to you. Start recording. Hearing my voice?
Okay.
Have you started recording? So I do start.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
I've given permission to you, so you just do record it. So it helps to you.
Okay.
So let's check the IP address. So you understand the profile types. I'll show you where we can check. So here we have two profiles. First is candidate, next is running configuration. So if I simply saved anything, so that become my candidate configuration. It doesn't mean that if I do restart my machine, so it loses my configuration. It is not basically impacting my box. That's only the meaning.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Okay.
So once you do commit, you can check show interface management. So here we can check the changes. Here the IP address got changed and now the IP address is 1.9. All right. So system info, we can check the assignment type, which is basically static. You check IP assignment, which is static. Okay. DNS server and everything get changed. So this is the basic configuration or basic management. So again, I just want to do access my box. So you just have to say 9 because my address get changed. Is it all right? Means you do understand everything what I'm telling.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We move on further configurations. So yes, here we have this is my dashboard where we can check everything: management, general information, admin login, config system log, related things, system resources, CPU management, data plane. You can check management CPU, data plane CPU.
Okay. And how do you know what are the specs of this system, like the specifications, how much CPU it has, how much memory it has, and stuff like that?
So system info.
Oh, so it's going to be done through the CLI. It doesn't show it on the dashboard.
Yes, this can be
Oh,
also done via dashboard.
dashboard has it.
Yes, it basically shows your CPU ID information, number of days. Here it shows only general informations.
Mm-hmm.
Version, operating system version, KVM most, and
So
URL
it's
filtering.
okay. So it
Yes,
should be KVM, right?
yes,
And
yes.
is
We
there?
have the platform which is basically KVM based, kernel based virtualization.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
KVM.
and when you said convert it, is there like a converter that you can convert the OVA to KVM?
No, basically there's one command which makes
Oh,
convert. Yeah. So QCOUT2 is basically a KVM file.
okay. But you download OVA, right?
Yes,
Okay.
OVA. You just have to make like you just have to run commands which makes basically to configure further either it's QCOUT2 KVA or whatever the platform you require. So this is my dashboard. Here we can check everything. And next, which is basically if let's say I want to configure my interfaces and I want to configure my routing table look like as we want. So we just have to perform further configuration. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 interfaces. One is for WAN. And next is for DMZ 1x3, which is for LAN. So I'll do configure from network. Come here at network and select interfaces and select these are my interfaces which are available in my box. So 1 by 1 is my WAN. So let's say I just say 1 by 1. So now it is asking in which mode you want to use this particular interface. So here it's require your intervention. So I'll say yes, I want to use this interface as a layer 3. So it is saying all right. So next we do have to select routing table. So by default in router we also have a single routing instance as you already know. So IP route will shows everything whatever we do configure our interface.
Mhm.
Palo Alto also have a routing instance which is named default. Okay, we can do create separate routing instance or we can say we can do create VRF also.
Okay.
So by default we do use default routing table and it is asking about the security zone. So there is no zone. So just click on zone. So let's say this is my untrust. So untrust. Here we can do call. Zone is basically logical. So under logical interfaces we can do call interfaces. So untrust under untrust we can call multiple interfaces and say okay. And then we do have to configure IPv4 addresses which is 192.168.101.11. No 1112 2112/24. All right, then say okay. Now next interface is 1 by 3 which is basically my trust part. So just pick one more zone and trust.
So we type the name trust. Does that make the zone trust, or it's just a name?
No, it's just a name.
Okay.
You can even do your name also. It just to make easy in understanding. So LAN also part of my trust. So I'll just do say trust rather
Okay.
than giving any other name. You can do any name. Cisco, I can give Cisco name.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, all right. That's the zone, and here we have to just mention IP address 10.1.1.1/24. Then say okay. And next is basically my DMZ interface, which is 1.1. So you just have to select DMZ interface 1 by 1 and select interface 1 by 3, layer 3, and select routing table, which is default zone, which is part of DMZ. So create one more zone, DMZ, and say okay. IP version 4 and say 192.168.1.1.1/24. Just okay. And here we have commit option. So save changes, if you do perform save changes, reward changes, and commit. Once you do commit, before commit you can check preview changes, means what you've done till. So here we can check running configuration. and candidate configuration. All right.
Okay.
The configuration which is already running, this is like pre-configured. If we added something modified, so it shows in yellow color, and if I added something, so it's in green. If I deleted, so it will show this particular function. So here it is saying earlier the running configuration was here, we have totally blank. Now I have performed the configuration under interface Ethernet 1, and I have done make IP address configuration, which is LAN, WAN, and DMZ. As well, I have some modify some interface which is showing green, and we have created zones also. Earlier zones configuration was blank. Okay, all right. So now it's
Okay.
make like good understanding what is exactly candidate and running configuration. All right. So just a commit.
So that preview changes and then it shows the changes, right?
Yes, yes. These things are really helpful when you are in production network. So you just have to make what exactly you done changes and what you are going to apply. That sometime you do wrong things and you just to blindly apply, so it makes hamper and you may suffer. So if is there anything wrong, so it also shows you in warning.
Okay.
So once you do configure interfaces, so all interfaces link state shows green and up, interfaces security zone and everything configured. Here you can come below interface, we can check the zones, DMZ. Under DMZ we have one interface 2. We can also check the routing table, which is basically virtual router. Routing table name is virtual router in Palo Alto, and the name is routing table, which is default. This routing table we have 3 interfaces, and just select. So this is routing table. Administrative distance also get changed here in Palo Alto.
Ooh.
So for static routing, administrative distance is 10, IP version 610, OSPF 30, OSPF 30, administrative IBGP 220. There's few administrative distance which are similar, but few get changed. So you want to check proper routing table, so select
They don't,
run mode time status.
and they don't support EIGRP?
Yes, you are saying something?
They do not support EIGRP, right?
Yes, it doesn't support EIGRP.
Mhm.
EIGRP is Cisco proprietary one, so it doesn't support.
It isn't anymore.
Yes, it is not fully, basically we can say it is not fully open standard. There's few devices only which supports.
Yeah, I think it would be better to have EIGRP rather than RIP.
Yeah,
Do you think somebody in the world is using RIP? I don't think so.
yeah, might be someone using.
Yeah.
So you can check the routing table, next hop interface, IP addresses, and destination next hop, and everything. A means active, C means connected, A is basically your active, H means host, and A basically active again, C connected, A host, H means host IP address, whatever we do configure that we can check here. Active connected, which is basically my part. Active connected part means this is the destination network which is active, and next hop. All right.
So when we need a host, active host, what IP address is that? Do you hear me?
Yes, yes, I'm hearing.
So when we say the active host, what IP address is that?
Whatever the interface IP we configured, that is basically active host. Yes, you can.
And the active connected?
Active connected means about the subnet detail.
Okay.
I think you got my point.
Okay.
So, all right.
Yes.
So we can check these things on CLI also. Show routing.
Okay.
So the same information you can check. So let's say if I want to ping my any firewall interface. So firewall interface does not ping by default. So let's to configure this router also. Host name trust user, let's say. If you do ping 10.1.1, so it doesn't allow.
Okay.
But let's say if you do want to make allow, so for that you have to use management profile. So you just have to come here at management. So here we can check the management profile option, which is totally blank. All right. So let's go to enable management profile on my interface. So we just create interface management. So just come here and network profile, interface management, select add and give name management profile. And now select what kind of traffic you want to allow. So let's say I'm saying it must be allow ping. So just say okay. And now people can do ping from interface. So just select interface and attach this profile. Let's say I only want to allow that people, those who belong from my trust zone, they can only do ping story. Come here at interface option and select advanced and come here at management profile, which is none. So just select your profile, which is management, say okay, and commit again.
Okay.
For every changes, even if you do perform a very minor change, you have to just commit it. Without commit, it doesn't gonna work.
And when we say about zones. So we say that there are two zones, trusted zones and untrusted zones, right?
Yes, yes.
So in untrusted zones, which zones are untrusted?
Basically, WAN interface, which is connecting my internet one by one.
And what about our DMZ?
DMZ is like it is part of my internal, that something different, like isolated environment where we do keep our servers.
Oh, okay.
In terms of policy, we say trust and untrust. I'll show you the default policies. This is intra-zone policies, which says if any traffic which comes basically at same zone, so that would be allowed. It's a default policy. We haven't created any. And here we have intra-zone policies, which says basically if any traffic which comes from one zone to another zone, so that would be dropped. If I do
Oh,
consider this interface as my trust, so it doesn't require any policy to go from this router to outside WAN. You get my point, what I'm saying?
yes. So from a trusted zone, you can go to an untrusted zone. From an untrusted zone, the traffic will be dropped if it's coming to the trusted zone, right?
No, what I'm saying, if I do consider 1 by 3 in my trust and 1 by 1 is also in my trust, so it doesn't
Oh,
require any policy.
yeah, because both are trusted interfaces.
Yes,
There's
but
no
if I'm
untrusted.
my trust, this is my untrust. So we required bidirectional policies. If trust want to go to untrust, so we require one policy, and untrust people wanted to come here at trust, so require another policy.
Oh, okay.
By default, there is nothing allowed between inter-zone traffic. It's not Cisco ASA, so I think you are mixing something.
Oh, okay.
So we applied interface management profile, so we can check the connection from this router to interface 1 by 3. I hope now your device will ping. Yes, you can check.
Mhm.
So this is how we can do control interface management traffic. We can do performs ACLs also for interface. A lots of option for configuration. Really provide granular control for administrator, like administrator can do perform anything
Mhm.
with this firewall. So if I mention permanent IP, like list of or group of trusted IPs, like these people can do perform ping or HTTP, HTTPS, SSS. So the trusted people can only do access from permitted IP address. Rest get denied.
Oh, okay.
So the very next thing, let's say I want to make fully internet accessible my box. So I just have to give default route, static default route. So I just have to come here at my routing table, select a default and say static route, select add and say static route, give the name. So here we have destination, which is 0.0.0.0 plus 0 interface, next hop interface, which is basically 1 by 1. This is my untouched part. And next hop ISP address, which is in my case 101.1. So just say OK. Now we have one static default route in my routing table. So it's saying if any packet which doesn't matches with my routing table, so it just have to forward to ISP. So just commit it and say OK. All right, I have done configuration part, which is almost 100% completed.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So if I do check traffic from my firewall, this is my Palo Alto CLI. You can check it. So if I do ping any untrust IP, so if I simply say ping 4.2.2.2, so it says invalid. If I say host, ping host 4.2.2, so it is going through my management. If I simply say ping host and ID, so whatever the traffic we try to ping, it always goes via management.
Okay.
So if we want to make sure that whether my traffic is going through my WAN interface or not, so we have to mention source interface also.
Okay. 68.1.1.
So now you can check it is pinging and we got internet connectivity at this interface. Does it make sense?
Yes. Okay.
So once we do configure interface DNS also on interface, so we can do ping names also. So just come here at the device and select configuration part and say time zone, which is let's say Asia. Kolkata, in my case, let's say. It can be any login banner. Let's say login banner is this is for only authorized people. Okay, all right. So just say commit. And now just come here at services. Under services, we have defined already DNS service route configuration. For any specific service which we want to allow from interface, so you have to just select customize option. And now if you want to make sure that DNS traffic should pass through my firewall, so I just have to enable DNS. And you have to select source interface. So one by one, say okay.
So source interface is going to be our.
For DNS
Okay.
means on firewall, for every interface, we can define what traffic we should want to allow. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say I want to enable NTP on particular interface. So by default, any traffic which is coming on interface for NTP, it gets dropped. So we just have to make sure that we just have to enable in proper manner, then it's only allowed.
Okay.
So in my case, let's say I do want to allow DNS service on interface. So you just have to select DNS and then commit, and now you check the result. So here I do ping host name, which is basically google.com. So once you do perform commit, it will show you the result. We can do configure or we can do ping any host name also. Okay, all right.
Okay.
One more thing. I would like to make sure that how we can do create policies also. So let's say I want to make traffic allow from trust to untrust. So I'm going to do create one policy for the users which is having in my LAN to access untrust servers, means untrust devices, Google, Internet, Facebook. So I'll have to perform PAT. So I'm going to do perform PAT on this interface, which is 101.212, and I also have to make sure that traffic must go from trust to untrust. So let's say, first of all, I would like to perform PAT, means this LAN segment would get translated into my interface IP address of WAN, where we already getting internet. So just come here at policies and create one policy, add and say name which is trust to untrust. You can give any name as per your comfort. So let's say I'm gonna choosing trust to untrust. Here you just have to add source, and further let's say if I do not want to allow for every subnet of trust, so we just have to make sure that we just do only mention specific subnets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you do just blank, you just left it blank. So that means whatever the traffic which is coming from trust, that should be acceptable.
Okay. So you
In
don't
the same,
specify.
yes, yes. In the same way, we just say untrust, trust to untrust, application, any as of now, services, any port number, and just say log at the session start, action is allowed, say okay. So this is my policy number 1, which is saying that if any traffic which matches from trust to untrust, it should be allowed.
Okay.
But for internet
Course.
access, we have to make sure that there must be some NAT policy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just do create one pat rule 1. Means I want to perform all trust IP addresses at my WAN interface, which is 212. So come here at original packet and say trust. If someone come from trust, wanted to go to untrust, and interface is 1 by 1, translated packet. So just come here, dynamic IP import, say interface address translation, and select the interface, which is basically 1 by 1, and IP address 212, and say okay. So this is my first pat rule, which basically allows traffic from untrust to trust. Just commit it.
So in this case, we translated the outside traffic into inside, right?
We are translating this LAN segment traffic into this interface IP.
Okay.
We are performing pat on interface. So just commit it and say okay. So we made configuration changes. Now we have to come here at router 37252 and just try to ping any public IP. Yes, now it's working. We can check the log also.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do complete access of my box, follow the box 1.9. Say yes. Admin. So you can check the banner also. If you want to check session, show session all. So any traffic is from trust to untrust, you can verify here. So now I'm going to do generate traffic, some traffic. Here we can check the log. This is ping traffic. So if I want to check the details of this log, so session ID number, which is 72. So it is saying the source is 10.1.2 going on destination 8.8.8. T2S flow means this is from inside to outside, or we can say client to server. If any machine was generating traffic, that will be considered as a client, and if machine giving back reply or answer, so that would be considered as a server to client connection. So let's say in my case, if I'm sending any traffic towards 888, so source would be 10.1.1.2, destination is 888, and in source to server to client, we can check it is coming from untrust, and 8.8.8 is giving reply on me, which is my public IP address on interface 101.1.12, and further we can check the details. It is going via NAT rule, pat rule 1, and it is passing the access rule, which is trust to untrust.
Oh, okay.
Egress interface, which is 1 by 3. Ingress interface, which is 1 by 3. Egress, which is 1 by 2. All right, so I think this is quite enough for today. You got the understanding about everything about the Palo Alto. In next session, we do complete further, and we make sure that we'll do clear everything. All right.
Okay. And as I said, if you have any kind of lab manuals or
Yes, yes.
books,
I'll
please
guide you.
share those with me,
Okay, fine.
and as well as if you can help me with setting up the OVA,
Yes,
my
I'll share you OVA
yeah,
file
if you
also.
have it, if you just have it, just share it with me to Google Drive, and I can download it from there.
Okay, fine.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, fine.
See you tomorrow. Bye.